Custom Garage. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is take the seat perch out. Going to clean this up, going to get in here cleaned up. We're going to see just how much of this needs to get replaced and clean up all in here. I have a full half floor section that we're going to put in here. I've been upstairs for a long time. It's how we used to do it before full floors became available. So I'm going to use up what I have and the parts I have around the house to get this thing done. But for now, we'll get this out, and then we'll clean up a rough cut around, get the garbage out we know we're not going to want, and then we're going to see exactly what's going on here and how much this needs to get replaced. What I'm going to do here is take off all the paint on this here and see if I can find all the welds and try to take this off as nice as I possibly can. Got some goopy tar stuff on this side. I'm going to try to scrape that off with a scraper. The rest of the welds are hard to see. A lot of it's rusted off the front. I'll repair that, the front of this. And we're going to air chisel in and start hitting this and see where the other welds are. Okay, so this frame rail is going to get replaced. This side is, and the floor comes up quite a bit. We'll see how far up it goes. What I want to do is get this side structurally sound, and then we'll jump on and do the other side, which is about the same. But yeah, we'll get this side done first. What I'm going to do first is cut it at the bottom of the floor, all the way around, all of this, and get this piece out so I take a look at that frame rail and figure out where to get that cut apart. Now I climb right in. with the floor cut out, you can really see what's going on now. This frame section is junk. The floor is going to need some work. That's not really that hard to do. It's pretty much a flat piece of metal going across. I can make that, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. And a torque box. Let me get the light off over there. Okay, here's a convertible torque box. Pretty much the same, except for it has the notch for the convertible frame sections. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that, repair it, make it like a coupe floor, and then put it in here. These are pieces I've had around for a long time, and we're going to do sandblast them, get them all nice and cleaned up, and put them in this car. So we have that. Grab this. Here's a new floor section, or a new frame section. This will go right in here. So that'll take care of that. And here's the floor section. Now it's like it's been in my garage probably for 20 years. So we're going to sandblast it, get it all cleaned up nice, and we're going to use it in this car. So what we'll do now is when it's cut low like this, I'm going to lay the floor in and mark the floor where the floors meet. And then what I usually do is give it a 3/4 inch overlap and weld them there. Then it's seam sealer, a little body work on the bottom side so it's not noticeable from the bottom either, and it'll look great. Alright, now that the floor is out, we need to get to the torque boxes. Torque boxes are located on the bottom underneath the fenders. So we're going to pull these fenders off and give ourselves access to the torque box. So the torque box will go in, then the frame rail will go in, then the floors will go in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get everything all taken off so we can get access to everything. And then we'll put you on time lapse for that so it don't take forever to do. And then we'll continue on from there. Alright, so we got the fender off, and you can see they tried, let's get out the light here, they tried undercoating things, but look at this stuff. Stuff is just flaking off. But here is the front edge of the torque box. And you can see it's been patched before. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut the floor at the same place. Clean up all of this stuff in here. And we'll repair this torque box. Like I said before, this is a convertible torque box. The coupes, the only difference is where the structural components to the inner rockers are on the convertible. So we'll fix that. We'll take this out. And we'll put that in this one's place. Any modifications I need to make, I can make as we're going. So we'll get to that next. It always amazes me when people do stuff like this. It's a piece of thin aluminum they riveted over the end of the outer rocker. And honestly, it does nothing. This is a structural component, and they put a piece of cheap tin over it. I'm going to, before I continue taking out anything else, I'm going to repair this. This is a structural component. I want this to be solid and straight before I start taking other things apart. So we're going to make this piece here, and then we'll continue on taking out the torque box. So we took the fender up the other side just to see how this rocker was, and this one's okay. There's no rot here. Everything looks solid. That's a good sign. So yeah, that all looks good. So you can see where the rust has started in here. It's there. Passenger side don't have a torque box. That's common on these guys. They put one on the driver's side, but not on the passenger side. But we're gonna take the shield off. And we got some rust up here, so we're gonna have to fix that. So keep that in mind. I already have new cowl panel, lower and uppers. This side looks good. So this side doesn't need it, but this rocker is gone. So we're gonna buy some, we're gonna order some panels tonight so we can keep moving forward on this. Okay, yesterday I ordered a new rocker extension. I ordered A-pillars because of that. Rotted down there, it's rotted here. So I just ordered a brand new one for both sides. So while we're waiting for those to come in, we'll get started on the doors and fenders. What I have here is the original fender for the Mustang. It's got the light blue underneath, so it's actually the factory fender. It's got some rust here, and it's got some surface rust. What I'm going to do is strip this whole thing down to bare metal. I'm going to repair this. I'm going to repair the inner. I have some other fenders around here. I'll use those for parts, and we'll make this thing right. Well, it's all sanded. I did this the same as I do everything else. 36 on an 8-inch orbital, followed by 80 on a DA. You can see the 80 takes away the 36 scratches. The bottom down here, I'm going to sandblast that because it's just rusty, and the blaster won't hurt the metal down that far. So you can see I got a patch to put in here, not a problem. And we'll probably blast up this area. We'll blast all the edges on the inside. We're gonna repair the headlight pocket in there and get this fender back in shape. We got a little dent right here I gotta fix. Got another dent right here. I think there was one there right here. This is in, but it's really not a bad considering it's the original 67 Fender. So I went through all my doors. This appears to be the best door that I have. It's got a dent right here, small one. And it's got just a little bit of rust right in the corner, but the rest of the door looks pretty good. Problem I have now is the mirror won't come off the door. It's got a nut certs in the door that screw this into it, and they're spinning. So I'm gonna have to drill these out. I'm gonna try not to ruin the mirror, because I'm gonna do is reuse the mirrors. They're gonna be powder coated black. But we're gonna try to drill it out without ruining them. And then we're gonna strip this door down, sandblast the inside edge of it, and we'll use this on the 67. Now, this door was originally the door for my 68. But I bought brand new doors for that, so that's why why I still have this. I drill out the screws and hopefully get it apart without damaging anything. I broke the bit. Well, that's not good. Guess I'll try to get it from the back. Well, since I broke the bit in the screw, what I'm gonna do now is go in with the belt sander and take the backs off. As you can see, it's right there. So we're gonna hit that with a belt sander, take both of them down, and then get that mirror off. Okay, so now that the mirror's off, I don't know how we ever did things without those belt sanders. Those things are amazing. Get in places that you just can't get into. But the mirror's off. We're gonna do the same thing we did to the fender. We're gonna do that to the door now. I'm gonna strip this thing down to bare metal on the outside. And then we're gonna later on, we'll sandblast the inside. I'll repair the dents that I have in it. Repair this little rust hole. We'll show you that when we do it. And yeah, we'll get this thing stripped and then we'll come back. As you can see, we got it stripped. There's a dent here and a dent there. The rust hole here. It's a little bit, comes out another spot over here. I'm gonna probably take a whole chunk out of here. Repair that. Otherwise, looks pretty good. The rest of it looks nice and solid. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna fix that one rust spot, sand it with, or wash it with some rust converter. Make sure there's no more spots anywhere that we have to worry about. We're gonna fix the dents best we can, get it in epoxy primer, and then we'll repair the rest of the dents completely. Usually what I do is I pull the dents out first, get them close, get the metal as close as I can to where I want it to be, put the epoxy on so there's very little Bondo involved. And that's what I like to do. So now the door is stripped, we got a fender done, we got a door done. We're gonna do the other fender and door maybe, or maybe we won't today, I'm not sure. But we'll just keep going on this. So I cut the rust out. As you can see, there was a rust hole here and a little one here. But I flipped it over to the back. I looked at the back, it was a little bit bigger. So I cut this big piece out. And the reason for that, as you can see, The rust goes a lot farther. Goes up around, and we didn't want that to come back and bite us later, so I took a bigger piece out. What I did, I traced it on a piece of 18 gauge, that's what I like to use, and this will get welded back in here, and that'll be perfect. Well, we'll be good to go from there. It'll get taken care of, weld it very slow, tack weld my corners, take my time on this, make sure that it's not going to warp the door any, because we don't want to have any more filler than we need. But that'll replace that rusty piece of metal. So then as far as rust, we'll be in good shape. We'll get the dents fixed on this, get this in primer this weekend probably, and we'll be good to go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sandblast all in here. When I do the outside, the inside of the door, I'll sandblast this area as well to make sure that it's all nice and clean, and we'll put some primer inside there. Okay, we stripped a front fender. Now this is a 68 front fender, so to make it a 67, we'll have to weld up this hole. That's the only difference between them. So this fender's in decent shape. It was the best fender I had of all my used fenders, and you can see around, I got a few fenders here. There's 2 green ones here. There was a bunch of other fenders I have that weren't as good as this. They were rotted in the bottoms or behind the headlights, so that's the best fender. This was the best door. So, fender out of the way. This door's got a couple little spots right here, and like the other door, it's got a spot here. I wanted to cut this out, cut that spot out. It's got a few little dings that were here before. They were full of Bondo. We're gonna try to straighten them out a little better. And so I didn't bother videotaping this. I mean, it's the same as it was on the rest of it. 36 grit on the 8-inch orbital, followed by 80 grit. And that gets it down to this. Now we're ready to start doing some welding and dent repair and get this thing moving forward. The other fender and door for the passengers, for the driver's side, is already stripped. Tomorrow I'm going to sandblast the insides and the edges of everything, and that should put us in good shape to start getting ready to prime these things. I sandblasted the edges and the bottoms of the fender. Get everything nice and clean. The fenders are okay. Doors, not so much. That is so gone. I thought about it. I mean, could I patch it? Yeah, probably so. Am I gonna? No. I ordered 2 brand new doors. Both doors are just as bad. The other one's actually a little bit worse than this one. I just can't see putting them on a car. So like I said, I could patch them, probably be all right, but I'm not gonna do it. I ordered 2 brand new doors. They'll be in, I don't know, maybe a week or so. Not in a rush for them. But these are not something I want to use on anything I own. So it sucks, you know. I mean, they're all stripped, they're all bare metal, but they're not something I want to use. So you probably wouldn't want that on your car either. So we'll just not worry about these, and we'll move on. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna pull the engine transmission out of this, put it back up in the air, and start getting the frame and floors done. Okay, so we're gonna end this video here, and we'll get the motor and tranny and stuff pulled out in the next video, and start moving forward on getting the frame and floors all put in. I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed. Welcome new subscribers. Please hit that like, hit the notifications, leave me a message. I really appreciate it. I do read them, and I reply back to all of my can. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.